Hey YouTube, it's Ashley and I'm back with another video. Today is Wednesday and I'm doing a WTF Wednesday. Now this WTF Wednesday that I'm doing, it hits really close to home. So as you know, the school year is ending and I know kids are very happy, or some of them, because there are other kids that live in my city in Detroit. There are other kids who live in the city that I live in that's not so looking forward to the end of the school year, simply because they depend on going to school for at least 2 meals out the day, which would be breakfast and lunch. I heard a couple things on the radio and I've seen a couple things online, like, you know, your mom to mom sales, they do a little thing where they collect food for the kids over the summer. Also, I heard on the radio that they collect cereal for kids to eat over the summer, like non-perishable items they collect for the kids, so they will have something to eat over the summer. And it just broke my heart that yes, kids are going hungry over the summer and they're so dependent on those school meals that when it ends, like, they're literally left destitute. And it's so, I'm so happy that there are charities out there that's helping the kids, but I'm just like, why is this even happening right now? Like, I just don't get why this happens. Like, we live on an earth that supports us here on this beautiful earth, where if you plant something in the ground, it will grow and it will bring about food that can feed a lot of people. But we've sectioned off those areas, called it private, and then we sell it to people. Like, that's not how it's supposed to be. Like, so if you don't have cash, then you starve. And if you do have cash, then you can have an abundance. You can have so much that you can even waste it. It just doesn't make any sense. And although these charities are doing a great job collecting food for the kids, I'm like, they need a balanced diet. Like, you can't go on eating cereal every day for every meal and expect to be okay. That's not okay. Now, granted, I can't complain because they are doing something and I'm not actively doing anything, but there's something more that could be done. And that's one thing that I want to do. When I could calm a little chaos out of my life, I do want to make more charity efforts for the kids, because I was that kid. Like, I think I've told you this before, but I was raised by my mom. It was 4 of us, so she was a single mother of 4. Just by, like, her compensation that she would bring home and then our appetites, there was no way. You know, it wasn't that she was a bad parent. It was just no way. Similar to how some of these other parents are experiencing the same thing. Just our compensation, it can't realistically support our day-to-day. That's just how it is. So I recall I had perfect citizenship going to school. Like, when we had our little reward ceremony, I don't know if they did it every semester. They probably did it every semester. When they had our little reward ceremony and they would reward kids for having great grades, I was #1 in perfect attendance. I was always there because I got a meal that it wasn't guaranteed at home. And then when you did have those summer months and you went hungry and you were going scraper for food or finding things to eat, it's just depressing. It was difficult. But, you know, back then when you're a kid, it doesn't affect you as much. Like, it didn't affect me as much versus how I think it would affect my mom. Like, if I were in her shoes and I knew that, okay, after paying all the bills, I have nothing to bring into the house, I don't know how I'll be able to swallow that pill and tell my kids, you better find something to eat or just eat bread, or, you know. But as a kid, it was like, oh, we don't have anything, so I'm just going to go outside. And in the neighborhood that we lived in, that was just a common thing. So it wasn't anything like to be embarrassed about, because that's just what life was for us. Now that I have my own child and I'm taking care of her, and I'm like, I would do anything at any cost. I would not allow you to starve. And not that that's the intention of these parents, but it's just some people that have more than one. I only have 1 kid. So some people that have more than 1 kids, it's impossible. No matter how hard they work, no matter what they do, it is just impossible. When I heard this on the radio, they were doing these drives, it was sort of like a bittersweet moment, because I'm just so thankful that, okay, now finally someone is doing something, because when I was younger, nothing was being done, and if it was being done, then we didn't receive any food. So it is great that people are aware now and that they're doing something, but a little bit more has to be done, because they can't live off of cereal or just canned items and perishable items. Like, they need fresh fruits and vegetables. Not that it's not that scientific to make the observation that certain foods change your moods and change your attitudes. So if they are eating cereal and they're hyped up on sugar and then they crash, you know, that's not what our body is supposed to do. Our body is supposed to intake food for energy and for support throughout the day. It's not supposed to highs and lows that sugar gives us. That's not normal, healthy. And then also the way that our body intake sugar and processes sugar is very hard on your pancreas and also your liver, so it's very dangerous to intake all of these sugars. So when I heard this, I was happy that they were addressing it. Kids love cereal. They're definitely going to eat cereal, and so they're solving a problem. But we need to get better at solving, but we need to do something to solve that problem better, and that's what I want to do. But the WTF Wednesday is just, I can't believe that we allow kids to go hungry, and we turn a blind eye to it. I don't know. It's frustrating. It's like, yeah. I just wanted to bring this to your attention, and then, you know, maybe we can all get together and think of something and make a collective effort to ensure that kids don't go hungry. I heard that it made me think, and I'm like, I just can't believe that we live in a world that provides so much food that just grow up from the ground, that we have fresh waters around us, but they're making us pay for that. Like, sit down and think about it. Food and water, that is a basic necessity for humans, you know. Food, water, air, those things shouldn't be anything that we have to pay for. Those are basic necessities for us to live. Now, clothing, shoes, cars, internet, that stuff we should pay for, because those aren't basic necessities. So if those were to leave tomorrow, we would still live. But if we don't have food, then yeah, we're gonna die. So why are you charging us for food and then separating people that can afford it and they cannot afford it, and those that can afford it, they're just left destitute? Like, that system, that just doesn't make any sense to me. So I don't know, guys. That's just me thinking. That was just me being frustrated because I was there before, and it just saddens me to know that there's some kids I don't know when they're out of school, June something is approaching, that they're gonna go to bed hungry. It's just, I don't know, guys. So, excuse me. I'm gonna go ahead and get off this thing now. I hope this video isn't too long, but if you haven't done so already, please go ahead and subscribe, like the video, share it, and yeah, I'll catch you guys later on Friday. So, peace.